The Uniform Civil Code, UCC, is a concept in Indian law that aims to replace personal laws based on religious practices with a common set of laws governing civil matters such as marriage, divorce, inheritance, and adoption for all citizens, irrespective of their religion. The idea of UCC is enshrined in Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy in the Constitution of India, which states that the state shall endeavour to secure UCC for its citizens. Currently, in India, personal laws pertaining to family matters are based on religious customs and practices and are governed by separate legal frameworks for different religious communities, such as Hindu personal laws, Muslim personal laws, Christian personal laws, and others. These personal laws often differ in areas such as marriage, divorce, inheritance, and succession. The implementation of UCC has been a subject of debate and controversy in India for many years. Supporters argue that UCC would promote gender equality, social justice, and national integration by ensuring equal rights and treatment for all citizens. They believe that a common civil code would help eliminate discriminatory practices and provide a uniform legal framework that is in line with modern principles of justice and equality. On the other hand, opponents of UCC argue that personal laws are integral to religious freedom and cultural diversity in India. They believe that imposing a uniform code would infringe upon the rights of religious communities to govern their personal matters according to their own customs and traditions. They argue that UCC should be implemented only if it respects the diversity of Indian society and takes into account the concerns and aspirations of all communities. Origin of Uniform Civil Code. The origin of the Uniform Civil Code, UCC, in India can be traced back to the colonial rule under British governance. During the year 1840, the British enacted a uniform law for crimes, evidence, and annexures, but deliberately left the personal laws of Hindus and Muslims unattended. This resulted in significant inconsistency and complexity in the personal laws of both religions. After India gained independence from British rule, the topic of UCC was discussed during the Constituent Assembly debates. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, one of the founding fathers of the Indian Constitution, recommended the inclusion of Uniform Civil Code in Article 35 of the Constitution of India in 1949. He suggested that personal laws should be kept outside the scope of the UCC. However, he also acknowledged that the implementation of UCC should be voluntary. During the debates, Muslim representatives emphasized the importance of preserving personal religious laws that were based on religious customs. As a result, only Article 44 of the Constitution of India incorporated the concept of UCC, while the scope of its implementation remained a subject of contention. It's important to note that the UCC remains a topic of debate and has not been fully implemented in India. The Constitution of India, including Article 44, sets the aspiration for UCC, but the actual enactment and implementation require legislative action by the Parliament of India. Article 44 of Indian Constitution. The provision for a Uniform Civil Code, UCC, in India is mentioned in Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy, which is a part of the Constitution of India. The Directive Principles of State Policy are a set of guidelines or principles given to the government for governance. While they are not enforceable by any court, they are considered fundamental in the governance of the country. Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy states, "The state shall endeavour to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India." This provision reflects the constitutional intent to work towards the establishment of a uniform civil code that would govern personal laws related to marriage, divorce, inheritance, and other civil matters for all citizens of India, regardless of their religion. It's important to note that the directive principles are non-justiciable, meaning they cannot be enforced by the courts. They serve as guidelines for the government to shape legislation and policy making. The implementation of UCC requires legislative action by the Parliament of India. Formulating a fair and effective UCC. Inclusivity and participation. Ensure that the process of drafting the UCC involves active participation from legal experts, scholars, representatives from different religious and cultural groups, women's organizations, and other stakeholders. This inclusivity will help in addressing diverse perspectives and concerns. Constitutional compatibility. The UCC should be in harmony with the principles and values enshrined in the Indian Constitution, such as secularism, equality, and fundamental rights. It should respect religious freedom while promoting gender equality and justice. Gradual and consensual approach. A gradual and consensual approach, considering the specific needs of different communities, can foster acceptance and pave the way for long-term reforms. Gender equality. Ensure that the UCC addresses the concerns of gender discrimination present in various personal laws. Promote equal rights and protections for women in matters of marriage, divorce, inheritance, and other civil matters. Uniformity in core principles. While accommodating cultural diversity, the UCC should aim for uniformity in fundamental principles such as the age of marriage, consent, and the right to divorce across all communities. Contextual sensitivity. Strike a balance between preserving cultural identity and addressing practices that may violate individual rights or are inconsistent with constitutional values. Protecting minority rights. Ensure that the UCC does not marginalize or discriminate against minority communities. Safeguard the rights and customs of minority groups within the framework of constitutional principles. Review and revision. The UCC should be periodically reviewed and updated to accommodate changing societal norms and needs.